welcome back. I've been waiting for you to return. Whew, okay, let me get all straightened up here. Presentable. It seems I still left something off of Phase 2 improvements. You know, I've done so many improvements and changes to this rig in 4 phases that sometimes even I can't remember all the changes. Anyway, the single bathroom towel rack was just a joke. Carrying one towel when it was me and 2 dogs was not going to cut it. I looked around, and I found a couple different size racks that I saw them listed as wine racks or towel racks. Anyway, they had curved ends on them, and you could put a bottle of wine in it, or else you could roll a towel up and stuff in it and it would stay. Well, I did my measurements and I bought the one towel rack that would fit in there and carry the most towels. Because believe me, with 2 dogs who like to be outside and active, you need extra towels. Now, when we get to Phase 3, Phase 3 might not be as big and have as numerous improvements or changes as Phase 1 or 2, but Phase 3 was a building block to what I eventually wanted to do in the long term with my RV. And that was to live off the grid, have power to run anything I want, of course, except the AC, because that really sucks power, and go anywhere I want. So, as per our discussions with my friends at Infinity Coach, we had planned out how we were going to do this. So for Phase 3, we added a 2000 watt pure sine inverter, and that came with a Magnum energy monitor, and we hooked that up to my Victron battery monitor, and also had to put in a little power box with all the connections you need when you do something like this. And that way I could pretty much operate or plug in anything I wanted that I would at home. I could plug in my RV. And, the AC still needed the generator on, but I've hardly really used that. To go along with my new 2000 watt pure sine inverter, I decided to add 2 more deep draw AGM batteries. Now, I have 3 AGM batteries for 300 amp hours, and I'd still been thinking about lithium batteries, but I wasn't satisfied with the research I've done because there's so much pro-con out there that I had not made up my mind yet. I decided it'd be smart to get a dash cam because whether I'm at fault or someone else is, I thought it'd be smarter to have some kind of electronic witness that could debunk all the other lies or half-truths or misconceptions that might be told from witnesses of an accident. So that became important for my own safety and security. So I got one of those, installed them, and not only does it tell me where I'm at with GPS, but it also tells me my actual speed. In addition to all this, I also had extra outlets with UBS plugins spread out through the back of the coach. So I could easily sit at my work desk, plug in anything I need, and work in comfort with everything right at my fingertips. So I tried to cover all the bases, always thinking ahead, multitasking, multi-uses. That's the way to go. Another big improvement I made in Phase 3 was putting in a hanging pocket organizer, or what some people recognize as a shoe holder. And I looked those up on Amazon, and I found out they came in different widths and different lengths. And the different widths, of course, had more pockets across them. So I measured my little door to bathroom and found the perfect size that I needed. So I got it, I screwed it into the back of the door, and I put all the things in there I need for the dogs, for myself, for possible emergencies, and it has been great. It's another thing that emptied out another storage bin I had put up in the cupboards here, taking up space. So once again, I filled that thing up, and all of a sudden I had more space in my cupboards because I got rid of that bin that all that stuff was tossed into. And not only is it giving me more space up there, but it's better organized on the inside of my door. So it's a win-win. Another addition was, well, I see a lot of people have these insulated curtains that go across, that block off the cab, keep the heat back where you're living. And I've had Reflectix that I put in the front windshield on the inside, and didn't think I needed a curtain. And then I found out in my travels that, that works sometimes, and then other times, like when it's cool and you got the heat in the back, that causes immense condensation on the inside of your windshield. And when you take that Reflectix down in the morning, it's all dewy. Now, you can wipe it all off with a towel, which makes a mess, or you can squeegee it off. And believe me, the water doesn't follow the curve of the windshield. It goes straight down off the squeegee and all over your dash, and that's another mess. So I decided, okay, I do not like doing this every morning in cool weather with a warm back end that causes condensation. So I decided, okay, maybe a curtain is not such a bad idea. So I looked through all my remnants and things I had at home, because, come on guys, we all got that stuff at home. And I found a panel from a tri-panel living room curtain I had. And I put that up there, and it worked perfectly. The only thing I had to do was have the bottom of it hemmed up so it was shorter in length. And then across the top, I got out my upholstery equipment, and I put in spaced grommets. And then on the inside of the cab, across the top, behind the seats, I put in a elastic nylon cord, which I had used in my 4Runner when I was sewing curtains for it, because I used it a lot for traveling and camping and taking my dogs elsewhere. That way I could slide my curtains across all the windows in the back of the 4Runner and have it all closed off. Well, I used the same thing in here and took little mini carabiners from Big 5 Sports Shop and put it through the grommets and snapped them onto the little white clothesline, and they slid back and forth really easy. So that way I didn't have to put the Reflectix on the window if I wanted to, and I could just easily slide back this panel from an old living room curtain section I had and have instant privacy. Plus, it was, for a living room curtain, it wasn't room darkening or insulated, but it was of fabric that was good enough to keep the brightness out. And believe me, with 2 active dogs, you don't have to worry about the sunshine waking you up, because they'll wake you up. And with the travels I've seen for some RVers going through some parts of the country where hail is not just pea size, it's baseball size, I decided, what can I do that would be multi-purpose and multi-useful? Well, I looked things up, and I found that I could get a leatherette wraparound exterior window cover that not only covered the entire windshield, but wrapped around and covered both the passenger and driver door windows. And I thought, that's a pretty good idea, because not only will it stop the sun from hitting the windshield first and heating the windshield up, which radiates heat inside, in case of bad weather, it will protect the windshield better than having nothing there in case it hails or something. So it would, soften the blow, I would hope. So I got that, and at times I use that and I carry it with me. So to cover all the bases, I've got my Reflectix I carry with me. I've got the huge leatherette wraparound outside window covering I carry with me. And I have my little inside privacy curtain I can pull across. So I think I pretty much got the bases covered on that. Oh, and another thing that I forgot to add. Like I said, I've gone through so many changes and improved so many things uh, that I've forgotten some, you know. But I found a long time ago when I first started traveling with the girls that once I had the 15-foot leads that I anchored to a D-ring below the passenger seat, I needed some way to coil them up and hang them someplace so they were easily accessible to me. Well, I found one of these clips on Amazon that snaps around the posts for the headrests. And basically, the use of that was for like a woman to hang her purse handle on. Well, I saw that. I got two of them. I clipped one on each of the posts for the passenger headrest, and it works great. I take my leads off the dogs when they get into the RV. I coil them up and I put one lead on each hook, and it's ready, available. They're separated, they're not a mess. It works fabulous. So that's something that I really like. So, like I said, there wasn't really that much done in phase three, but what was done in phase three, the increase in the battery bank with two more AGMs, the addition of the 2000-watt sine inverter, and the little power box and all that goes with it. I'm no electrician. Uh, those were laying the foundations for my long-term use and adventures in this rig to do what I wanted, which again was to basically live off the grid with the girls, go where I wanted, do what I wanted, and experience nature. So I guess for right now, it's adios, c'est la vie, auf Wiedersehen, and we'll be looking for you when phase 4 comes around.